Hello, everyone. Fan Fire here. Today, as soon as our competitors come, we shall be watching Sir Backstab playing as a hunter, is representing Team High Lords of Low Waters versus Randiv of Team Wildlife, playing as Dracula. Because what else is there left for him to play? Spectator? I don't think so. Hello, Gyro. I see you in there. And hey there, Pizza Wizard. What? Sure you can't come and join me as cook-on, Pizza Wizard? Uh, hmm. My apologies if the music ends up turning on and off throughout the stream, but I have not yet mastered the art of how to keep the music going while checking my chats, which is which sadly I can't have the game and the chat in separate windows. I only have my laptop, so it won't be easy for me to keep up with live chats. So if the music stops and starts now and then, it'll likely be me taking a peek at the chat here and there. Where are you? So Backstab, Randiv, you're the ones that are supposed to be playing hide and seek. I spoke with Randiv just a bit ago, and he said that well, he was around. He was in the middle of the game of Magic the Gathering, apparently, it, but that was like at least that was over 5 minutes ago. Uh, Once it's so where are you? So I have noticed that Sir Backstab has tended to be a little bit late to his games. So I'm not completely surprised about that. But yeah, uh, I mean, I suppose we can talk about the standings a little. Both High Lords of Low Water and Wildlife are currently at the bottom. Oh, there's Randiv. Yeah. But in any event, to continue with the standings, at present, team, what? Team High Lords of Low Waters, okay, goodness, they always timing that your arrival to, yeah. Okay, ready? It interrupts me to the standings, okay? Well, okay, as soon as they reply, I'll start up. Okay. So Maxo is ready. And Brandon told me that he would be... Okay. Here we go. Alright, so how will also Backstab set it up? This is looking like a Scott Sword setup from back before superhero became meta. At least mostly meta. Where will Randiv start? I don't know. Randiv has mostly been doing hunters for Team Wildlife. This was... But we decided... But he and I, me being the other member of Team Wildlife, as most as you know, then we decided to switch it up this week. Oh? Rufus Smith. Okay. Interesting. The week once... Rufus seems to have seems to be making a habit of popping up early week 1 on day 1. That's like the third game in a row, at least that I've watched, where that has been the case. Aggie. Alright. I'm guessing that Sir Backstab may be regretting putting Rufus into the ally slot. Whoa! Okay! Aggie? On the... wow. Okay, so it looks as if Randiv at least was intending to for a traditional Athens Alona start. Yeah, it'll definitely see if... We'll see if Randiv chooses to go into Athens or not, or if he chooses to just go directly into Austro-Hungaria and just make a break towards to the west. Or neither and simply goes north but stays in Baltica. Because now that they know that he is in Athens, he may choose to fake going to Athens by going to Salonika instead, and then backtracking to Alona. So, yes, where does Dracula go? There's really not much to say, now that we know where he started, and it's still, it's still only the day one. I suppose Sir Backstab, being one of the newest members of the community, at least that is in this, I think actually the newest of the community in this tournament, quite possibly, will he go leaping off after Madrak too soon? We'll see. That's the primary question that comes to mind for me. Little learners? Okay. Yeah, just the general week one supply train. Just training in Mina showing pistol. Oh, and what's this? A money trail. Interesting. Now that's very good for the hunters. Because with them having discovered his location so soon, he may well be forced out to sea, especially out over there in the east. Having a money trail having the money show the fact that they're showing the money trail might make might make Drac overstay his welcome if he chooses to stay in the east. If he so therefore he will definitely need to definitely need to be a bit cautious regarding that. Hello there, Geo. Geo, I know that your English isn't the best, but if you would like to join me as a co-com, I would welcome it. Okay, misdirecting Valona. I agree. Some might choose to keep it as lair, but for Valona in particular, it makes sense to misdirect so as to not so as to make it still possible that he went down to Athens, even if he didn't. So I definitely agree with the decision. Oh, rumor token on first thought. Despite the fact that they know that he is not all that far away. That appears to say Athens. Or does it? Honestly, I'm not sure. I mean, that does seem to say they didn't go to Sarajevo. But Sofia, Salonika, those are at least by horse. just as many turns away from the hunters. Okay. Apparently they don't like. Apparently Immortal doesn't like garlic. Sorry, Joe. He doesn't like your crops. For those who do not follow, Geo is part of the garlic farmers. Okay, 2 desperate soils, a spy. There's a rats. I missed the last one though. Did anyone catch that? Ooh, Mystic Research, 3 and 3. Okay. Good. That is getting some pretty good stuff. So, from what I was able to catch, from what I was able to catch, Randiv did not have any delaying events, so at least when they showed the hand. So if he is indeed doing a Athens hide and planning on going back to Bologna, it would appear as if he was on it, unless he top decked, unless of course he top decked something after they discarded the spy, after Sir Backstab discarded the spy, then it's interesting to be sure. I'm not. Where will Dracula go next? If any of you in the chat could join me as a co-com, that'd be nice. Solo streaming is not makes me often just stop talking to think when I'm thinking. It's definitely much. My things are definitely much better when I have a co-com. But oh well, it is what it is. State discard. Interesting. Okay. That stake discard is interesting. There's... Oh. My. I should have looked at this sooner, but... Take a peek here. We have an Emmanuel Hildesheim in the discard from the Mystic Research. So if there is a hoax that was placed down before, as the first encounter before the Behind the Veil, then we could have something very interesting if the hunters fail to reach the hoax in time. Definitely would be. Although the fact that he placed down a rumor token makes that less likely. that the hunters have know that it's confined to 4 locations for the first encounter makes it and that those 4 locations aren't all that far away from the from 2 of them. It's not all that likely that it'll get to mature. It is actually interesting how there might be. I mean, the hunt. Dracula's best hope is that the hunters, like, what I would have done as Dracula actually is go to Salonika, and then hoping that they would assume that I'm going to Athens, and then return to Valona, basically fake the Athens Valona by using Salonika instead, and then go up instead of going to Athens. That gives, I think, his first encounter the best chance of maturing. Hello, Bluffaluffagus. You need to change your YouTube name. I don't suppose, Bluffaluffagus, that you would be able to join me as COCOM, would you? Okay, a wolf form from Drac. Apologies for the music once more. Still don't have it where I can look and check in my chat while I'll still having the game open, since you can't really, so as far as I know, can't really minimize the screen. But under the current circumstances, that's just how things are, as I only have the one device to work with. So, what are the hunters going to do? They need to begin moving soon, that's for sure. It is interesting that since Aggie, for those of you who came in later, Aggie was drawn on day 1 and showed that Dracula began at Valona. At this point, this could actually be a wolf form from Munich. He could have actually gone to Sarajevo, Zagreb, Munich, and then just on a wolf form from Munich. It's definitely, that'd be an interesting play for sure. It would definitely throw a large amount of obfuscation as to where he is now, if he did do that. Hmm. It appears if we're getting sort of Sir Backstab's reputational slowness right now. But that seems to say that he. But to me, that I think that means that he is at least considering moving. So that would. I'm going to guess that means that Glum has like a horse, char carriage, sense of emergency. Uh, basically a way to really start moving. I and that's why he's at least hasn't gone to the supply. Yeah, we have a stake in the discard. Uh, apparently Sabaxa doesn't like garlic. Man. Seems like Sabaxa is going to suffer some of what I suffered when I was up against Wakajic. The tickets were downright mean to me. And even when it was minimal odds, uh, that's yeah, that is bad for the hunters. But that move rules out the possibility of the trip to Munich and then wolf form move, which I'm actually somewhat disappointed that Randiv didn't do that. Seward discarding a knife. Whoa, that's interesting. Seward must have some pretty dang good stuff. What? This is going to be. So people in the chat, where did Dracula go after Valona? Where's the rumor token? Tell me. Sorry, Jairo, only just caught this. Which audio? Game audio? Mm. Mm. So, what did Van Helsing do? Discard a crucifix? Okay, that's normal enough. Okay. Oh, okay, so you're having a little bit of a hard time hearing me, but alright. I'll tinker with my settings a little. That better? Let's. Mia had to discard an event. Just also discard a pistol. Was that the pistol she was showing? No. Or if it was, she had another one. overall consensus in here. Uh, we know the whereabouts of 3 pistols, the 2 in here, and the one Mina just is showing as her yield card. A stake, a holy circle, and more of the more trash items. So, people in the chat, I did ask you where Dracula went after Valona. Where did he go? Tell me. You... Alright. Ophilopagus. If either of our 2 newest Discord members are nearby, ask them, please. Hyde is in the location decks, not Athens Hyde. Where did Dracula go? Well, okay, Wolfram Gallus to Constanta? Tis possible. Tis possible. And since it wasn't the Munich play, it is also possible that it is possible for sure. It could be. It is also possible that it's Athens, Valona, Sarajevo, Wolfram to Munich, and that's where he is now. So I suppose Munich is not entirely off the table, not until Sarajevo or Munich is checked. Newspaper reports. So he had an early one. So it is Athens as the first location. Due to the loss of his horse, Goldaming, unless he has a sense of emergency, sadly won't really be able to get down there in time. Mina, however, well, sense of emergency could help her get there. And Char Care would also get her fairly close, and if she also has a horse, interesting. They would have. I'd guess I'd say Acer or Backstab and forgot that Gul'dan was in a small town there. Because otherwise, what I would have done with Goldaming is check Munich, perhaps. Either check Munich or go to Budapest or back to Vienna to be able to supply again. Perhaps that would be a mistake, but I probably would have gone to Munich just to rule out that possibility. Oh, another newspaper. So, Sarajevo. So it looks as if it is the Wolfhorn to Munich play. Either that or backwards to Varna or Budapest, but I don't. Or, sorry, Bucharest, not Budapest. those two are mixed up rather easily. But I honestly think that Munich is the most likely option. Because why will form to where you're going to be forced to see eventually? Hello.
Did somebody say they wanted a co-commentator?
Ah, well, welcome, Messieurs. Thank you for answering my plea.
No, well, I saw the signal in the sky. I thought, you know what, I've got to help the man out. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing quite well. Yourself? Uh, if you don't, if you don't mind, we are currently discussing the situation that, I'm not sure if you're watching the stream, but it would appear as if Dracula possibly will form to Munich, and uh, people in the chat, please inform me if Miss Istios' audio needs tinkering with, as mine did. But in any event.
Yeah, I'm watching the stream. I'm watching the live stream, so that's fine.
All right. Would you mind keeping an eye on the chat for me, as that's still a bit challenging for me. That will mean that I can keep the music running the whole time without it necessary to stop it from time to time due to having to leave the game window. You know.
Yeah. I mean, they're not saying anything interesting, so if they do, I'll let you know.
Yeah. But in any event, go. There. Go down.
Make me louder, they say. Make Costco louder.
All right. Let's. All right. Go ahead and do some talking.
How are my dulcet tones now, Gyro? Can you hear me? Is that better for you? That's probably better. Yeah, you said by about 50%, so that's probably better.
All right. Good.
Cool. That's fine.
In any event,
so Athens is rumoured and hasn't. Let me just check.
Yes.
Yeah, Athens is rumoured and not been found.
To bring you up to date for what you missed, Aggie was drawn day 1 and sniped where he was at Bologna. And then since then, in truth, since then nothing much has happened apart from Goldaming rolling a white 1 with a horse. Hence why he is only at Zagreb. And with only 2 items.
So this is interesting then, because we've got loyalties here, because obviously Randiv is your partner, is that correct?
Yes.
And Backstab is Vakashchek, so
yeah,
it's a shame you can't tie games, which would benefit my team. But, I think so you'll be following Randiv there. Is Randiv the hunter or the vampire in this?
He is actually Drac today. This week we decided to mix things up because back in week 5 when we were up against Stray Deeds and Sheep, I had already been doing I had already been in Drac 3 times, including the time I evaded you, I might add. We have had since Spencer, of course, was being dragged for them, and Randiv knows Spencer far better than I do, we decided to take advantage of that, so he hunted, and I was dragged for the 4th time, and after that, until this week, basically we were using that same logic in terms of for Wakajik, as I know Wakajik. I've played Wakajik I don't know how many times in friendly games. Sadly, that wasn't enough, and the game went poorly for me.
So you lost. All right. So that's this week's game. You lost against Vakashchek, yeah?
Yes. Sadly.
Right. Okay.
I didn't want to spoil it. But Hypnosis went. Oh, he's still in the east. Interesting. So it's not Wolfram to Munich. I disagree with that choice, honestly. Especially with me having previously shown oh, what's this? She's showing forward now. Okay, so apparently they traded the money trail that she originally showed off of her. That's very interesting.
I mean, he's not. So he hasn't moved. I mean, he's not moved Seward from Madrid. Why would he not? Why do you not? I mean, start moving Seward because he's been revealed in Athens. You want to get
and
Van Helsing
for that matter. Yeah. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Roscoe, Sir Backstab is, I think, welcome, Bluffaluffagus.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hello.
Here we go. Now we're getting some tag team chat.
There you go.
As I was just saying to Roscoe, as we were commentating on Van Helsing and Seward's inactivity, as I mentioned earlier, Sir Backstab is, I think, the newest member of the community that is in the tournament, because obviously it is obvious who qualifies for news in the community. Yes.
When did Backstab start?
After New Blood was when New Blood was nearly over and it was down to the finals, if I
that's
recall.
very new.
Yes, so he is definitely, yeah. It actually reflects the team name kind of reflects that. I noticed from the beginning. High Lords for meaning Wakagic of Low Waters, Sir Backstab.
Okay.
Yeah, and Sir Backstab, like you, has suffered from just no wins, apart from you getting one recently. He has not yet he has not yet.
Yeah, so he's yeah, so my teammate's better than Backstab. Don't throw them into the same group. My teammate's got one victory, so
yes.
Backstab has done.
Yes, but for
and I'm gonna. Well, Backstab has a chance to tie it up because we're gonna play. You're not gonna play next week, so we'll see.
Well,
hopefully we'll make it. I'll expand the gap between us. We'll see.
Well, since my hope is that Randiv will win, I'm hoping that Backstab will get his obligatory win of the tournament. But in any event,
I'm gonna get my bearings here. I saw a little bit of the stream earlier, then I left, and then now I'm back here.
Which people in the chat, if Bluffaluffagus needs to be adjusted as audio like Roscoe did, please tell me. But
alright.
In any event, Mia just used hypnosis, telling us that he's still in Balska, which is definitely strange. I definitely would have done the wolf horn to Munich. As that.
So it looks like Godalming lost something to the spy.
No,
no?
That spy was discarded from behind the veil, and he rolled a white one with a horse.
Oh no!
What happened. Yes.
Well, that explains staying in the east then a little bit.
Well, no, that was he's been staying. That wolf form happened. That check happened when he. Local rumors in Madrid still not moving. But as I was saying, he moved to Zagreb after the move after the wolf form, I think. Either that or after the wolf form, one or the other. I don't remember exactly. Okay, so Van Helsing's moving. That's good for the hunters.
I guess Dracula could have gone Sarajevo and then moved back into the east, maybe to number 10. And then with Athens, that'll wipe the trail.
Yeah, and then there's Varna as another option. To be on the coast.
Then I'd be tempted to go Central Europe because Van Helsing and Madrid are stationary. I'd be tempted. Even now they're moving, you could get ahead of them.
Yeah, I definitely would have gone Madrid and gone to the. I probably would have not started at Valona. If I were to start in the east, I probably would have done something like possibly like 10 Galatz, Bucharest, Constant. I would basically Valona is one of the last places I would begin, due to just how often that gets checked and all. But me being me, I probably would have started more towards the center of the board, as is my reputation. Mina has shown several things. She started by showing a money trail, but now she's showing a forewarned. That is probably one. That is probably like actually the very last thing you want to show, because that's especially with the update, where where now they can't just play a speed telegraph and move her in first, anymore. So a shown money trail is a useless. A shown forewarned. Sorry, is a useless forewarned.
Yeah,
Unless
Backstab is going to have to do.
Okay.
Unless his other event card is more powerful than a forewarned.
Yeah. There needs to be some trading. Gotta do some trading.
In my
whenever
opinion,
housing has the first available opportunity.
In my opinion, Roscoe, now that forewarned doesn't cover just a space in general like it used to. Now that it has to be ambushing that hunter, I think that even CG, RV, even the best stuff like that, is forewarned is more valuable to keep hidden.
Yeah, I suppose whatever she has, yeah. But I guess if Van Helsing takes it off her, he's going to have to replace her with something so she doesn't reveal the other cards she has. And then
Exactly.
Yeah, I would have just kept the money trail in her at least for a while until he had something like blood transfusion, long night, etc. to show him instead. Yeah, here, see my chat. Trash.
Gyro says big brains place. You showed Dracula Mina's forewarned so you can move Suidan with the other forewarned.
It is possible.
Plus the one hit with the other.
Yes, it is possible that that there could be the other one floating around.
Yeah, have
elsewhere.
Mina use her for one of the bats to dissuade, to reduce the fear of Dracula for triggering fog.
The problem is now, that's it. I mean, that Athens has matured, obviously. He's sitting on 7 points, and they don't know where he is. So,
well, they have the clue that he was over in Baltica, so they know that he didn't wolfform into the middle of the map, which is definitely good news for them.
Have they checked Vienna to make sure he didn't go Sarajevo, Vienna, Prague, North Germany?
Mina only just moved out of Vienna, so.
Oh, did she? Right. Okay.
Yeah, they started there. It was a traditional, a traditional Scott sword setup that what was meta before superhero came around. In other words.
Right.
So
that'll be another residual check in the post for Scott sword.
So the hypnosis was what, 2 turns ago? 2 days ago?
What's that?
When was the hypnosis? Was that 2 days ago?
Draka's only moved once since then, I think.
Okay. Alright.
But in any event, a wolf form from Sarajevo that ends up in the east, that the destination of that is the first thing on the trail. So I would guess at Varna would be my guess. Because
Fangs, what's the ally that's in, or what's the in play card at the moment?
That's Rufus. He came up as Seward's first event draw.
Right,
on day 1. He, as I said earlier, he seems to be making a habit of popping up early. That's the 3rd time in a row recently. Okay, still no hide.
That explains why Dracula's staying on land, and that makes sense. And
yes,
they're not
but
really
if you want to stay in land, why stay in the east?
Because they can't get to you. Look at them. They're just sitting watching them. Godalming and Mina are doing nothing.
Yeah.
And he's laying down another trail.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You only move if they pressure you. Madrid is. Oh, there's a wax cylinders. We'll see if there's a hide here. Okay.
There's not. Oh, I think you're a little behind.
Yeah, he's watching it from the stream. To keep an eye on chat for me.
Yeah, I'm doing my usual thing of like logging into the game itself, and then I got my chat on the phone next to me, so I can kind of watch both that way.
Yeah,
Right.
sadly I only have the one device on my laptop, so I do not have that luxury, which is why I cannot
Well, you
watch.
two,
Watch.
you both commentate live in the game, and I'll give you updates in the chat.
Yep, sure. Sounds like a plan.
So now wait for Dracula.
Sorry, go on.
Looks like we got Dracula on the move. Let's go.
Yeah.
Gyro was saying the night after rule form was hypnosis, and the rule form was last cleared.
Yes.
Was the last card cleared?
So yeah.
So technically, Dracula could be back in Munich by now, but if I were Dracula, sort of like you were saying, Roscoe, if the hunters aren't that close to you, you're only making yourself closer to more hunters.
He can't
stay in the east.
He can't be in Munich, because he wolf formed it. Since it was used after the wolf form, and the wolf form was back into Baltica. Even with 3 moves, Mina was sitting at Zagreb until this today. So he would have had to move through a hunter at some point.
He could have still been in Munich. He could have been in Munich as of this move that he just played, but it doesn't matter. It's not important to the story. The important thing in the story is he's sitting around in the Far East. He's laying down encounters. You have a horseless Godalming close who can't do that much. You have Mina there, and you're just building a lot for them to deal with. And the other 2 hunters are far away. And if you were going to Central Europe, you'd be only making those other 2 hunters closer to you. Yeah. So you may as well stick around the east until you're forced to leave. As Roscoe was saying earlier, I completely agree with that analysis.
Yes.
When you see that as well when Dracula gets to the UK. You know, if Van Helsing's taken out, you can just stay in the UK until the hunters force you out. So it's the same scenario here. If they're not going to move on him, he's just getting to layer. I mean, by the time they find where he is, even if he hasn't got a rumour token and that's just a regular vampire, he's going to get 4 or 3 from that anyway. And then all of a sudden, you know, he's up to 10, and they're still not moving. They've got to press Dracula. I don't know what they're searching for. Yeah. They've got 9 items left, so they must have decent items at least to pressure him. I mean, if you don't move and you can't sit and wait for hired scouts or papers like that. Godalming and Mina should be, even if they've got fast horses, should just be railing to 10. Sophia, force them to see, especially Rufus being played as an ally.
Yes, and also, of course, they do have Money Trail unless they chose to discard it. There have been some. There was one discard, but although I don't think that. Would he seriously discard Money Trail? I doubt that. Especially since it was the discard came from Mina, and she was one who was showing it, but then it changed. That seems to say that it was traded off her. So therefore, with Mina being the one that discarded something, then okay. Oh, he seems to.
Yeah, let's go.
That's even more reason to force him into the sea. You got Rufus and Money Trail.
Yeah.
He's going to be, if he's on the Black Sea coast as Gyro thinks he's lurking, he's going to have to go at least 2 oceans, probably 3. So there's 6 free damage, and then you just find him on the 3rd turn when he lands. So.
Yeah.
Interesting.
4 or 6, depending on how soon he lands.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're Black Sea, you wouldn't go Black Sea and then Ionian. You'd want to go a 3rd because then they know where you are anyway.
It might depend on the hunter positions, but yes. There's all.
Yeah, at the moment the hunters aren't moving. They need to start moving around. Godalming and Mina need to start just doing something.
At the very least, Van Helsing and Seward are closing the gap significantly.
Yeah.
He appears to have fixed.
Sorry, friends. What's that?
He appears to have fixed the. Yeah, he appears to have fixed the issue with horses, which is what.
Oh, did he have bad economy before?
Yes, that's why there's one in the discard. Here, take a peek, have a look. There was a stake discarded early as well. Typical Godalming stuff, you know.
Oh, right, okay.
But one thing that did puzzle me is that Seward discarded a knife. No Varna and no Constant. Oh wait, there it is. Okay, so there. Yes, Constanta. So it was. So there was Sarajevo to. No, wait. wait, the wolf form destination was what got away. So he went to 10 with the wolf form, and then went to Constanta for his next thing. So that means so that means that the thing is that the next location could be 10, because that's when the trail got wiped, and 10 would have come off the trail. So it's not guaranteed that Varna is the next location.
I think as well for Dracula, I'd be looking at a Varna, although Waxland has been revealed, but Seward's not been using it religiously. You could do a Varna, a High, Sophia, Salonika, then you've got the option of going from either the Ionian or the Adriatic. Hoping that the hunters move in to clear the trail, you can then jump past them and then wolf form from either the Adriatic into Genoa, wherever you want, or even straight onto the Tyrrhenian coast.
Well,
and that way
we'll see about that.
Remove any CG issue.
Well, he just did a wax cylinders from the game, and that it's still no hide. So.
Oh, that's interesting. I think he'd want to. Yeah, he's probably wanting to stay on the coast. Go to Varna, Sophia, Salonika. Perhaps even going back to Athens.
So, something like that. I agree. Oh, apparently not. Psychic.
I was just gonna say, that might be a thing that I would want to do because he doesn't have the pressure on him yet. You may as well go into Austria-Hungary, and you can always wolf to Valona or Athens later if you need to, because you're not under any pressure right now.
Yes. That makes sense.
So he can go there now if he wants to.
Yeah, so now we know that Dracula's current location, well, which is about to change, is in Austria-Hungary. So,
it's either Belgrade or Sarajevo. Sarajevo makes more sense, but...
yeah.
So let's see who does here. Wolf to Valona, wolf to Salonika, wolf to Munich, just walk.
That's another wolf. I honestly would have just walked, unless that is he. Well, unless that's this time a wolf to Munich. Because.
As if Constanta's a vamp or not. If Constanta's a vamp, I might feel tempted to wolf to the
renewed
east.
vigor. Okay.
Interesting.
I mean it. Yeah, the
be better with speedy telegraph because you could check Munich first. But he doesn't have that. You have to move Godalming first.
If Godalming's picked up a new horse, he could check Munich with Godalming, but you don't want to.
You want Godalming to go east, I think.
Yeah.
There's no speedy telegraph here.
I'll tell you what could be a ballsy move if he went Constanta, Varna, Sofia, Belgrade, Klausenberg, and wolf from there into Vienna. So the two hunters go east to clear the trail, and he just walks past them.
There is enough trail down for him to do that. To do that.
It's ballsy, but the thing is, you'd only do that if you thought the hunters were moving. But again, they just seem to be enjoying their time in Budapest. So.
Well, they gotta move now. There's no use burning that renewed vigor if you're not gonna move, so...
Absolutely.
On the other hand, if Godalming wants to supply, he should probably do that first while he's still in a big town. Big city, you know?
Bangs, do me a favour, go and click on the events and see, just in case Constanta's a hoax. Is there many Dracula cards?
Yes, there's a mystic research that hit 3, including an Emmanuel Hildesheim.
Oh.
Yes, so hoax is very scary. That's 6. There are 8 in discard, but we know that one of them is Emmanuel Hildesheim. So if there's a hoax, the hunters are going to be in even more trouble. Okay, so he checks Zagreb with Godalming first. Sense of emergency, perhaps?
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't. I would have spent a ticket and go to 10. I mean, then again, for horse's sake, he might have only white 1 / Well, and a yellow one. Oh, slow horse for Seward. Well,
Well,
he
I guess that's why I was doing the tickets.
well, at the very least,
That stinks.
thanks to Randiv, he can still reach Munich and check that.
Yep.
So that's not. And it would have been better if he could have gone there one move, and therefore, if necessary, like also done a supply if he was there to discard a stake or something, because only one stake is in the discard. So the other three are floating around slash in slash in people's hands.
Well, they better start using them quicker. They're going to get weevils or Deathwatch beetle disease because they're not using them on Draculas.
What?
They're not vampires. They're just holding them in their hand.
Not checking Munich and
Well-
going to Venice. I mean, excellent weather.
Did he hope
perhaps?
to use excellent weather? Yeah.
Quite possibly. That would
Yeah.
and that would be a good, and I would say good move to that. If that is indeed what he had in mind. Or would I? Not checking Munich. If it is Munich, there's also Van Helsing. He can rail down to Vienna and then check Munich. Basically, and Van Helsing is the one you typically want to stay back. It's the best one to stay back anyway. Okay, choosing to supply. You might have. Well, okay. Discarding a rifle. Interesting. That is. Yeah, that's the first rifle discarded. So now what does Mia do?
You mean apple horse?
If she does, she hasn't shown it.
Huh.
It's possible that the third horse is buried in the bottom 5 of the deck, but I mean, it's possible Van Helsing just picked it up with that supply.
I have to imagine you go east with her. You could check Munich.
I mean, depending on exactly how you would, if you don't have a horse, yeah, I like this. Or I'm at least okay with it. Like, he could have hit another scouts. There's only been one scout so far, so there's reasonable odds of finding a horse. At least, finding a scouts. I mean, okay.
A trade?
Trade slash
Yeah.
another psychic bond. An overall disappointing renewed vigor, to be honest, but
Yeah, Scottslaw's made a good point. And I'm surprised Randiv hasn't thrown down another rumour to try and end this quick. Because obviously they're not pressing it. Maybe he hasn't got a vampire down, but if he
well, in
stick
terms of
one on there.
in terms of Constanta, he didn't have the rumor token at the time since it's only Wednesday. He would have gotten his second rumor token just as that slid into the 4th slot. The next one, well, it's possible that he simply hasn't. That one in particular isn't a vampire, and he's good.
Yeah.
And the next one, I mean, we did see earlier from behind the mail that he had both desecrated soils, so he may have laid down one or two of those as like in anticipation of the sea travel.
Okay. Yeah, I think as soon as he gets one, he plays it because
yeah.
evidently that will force the hunter's hand, or the game could potentially finish.
Yeah.
Okay. No surprise there. Dracula is no longer in Austria-Hungary.
Yeah. So that rules out the possibility that he went to Szeged. He was somewhere on the border.
What do we do here?
Misdirecting.
Oh, a misdirect.
Misdirecting which border spot he was on. I actually Or no, it's the.
I
It's
kind
the,
of like that.
it was actually the. Or
Yeah,
what?
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, was that one the? Yeah, that one was the. He wolf formed out of the scan spot, right?
Yeah, so that spot is either Sarajevo 49 or Belgrade 46, or Belgrade 6 rather. So, um, if it
it
creates
also
just
could
a
have
little bit
it
more
also could have been Klausenberg.
certainty.
Uh,
No, it couldn't.
uh,
Because after Constanta, it had to be
right. There is no
Varna
hide.
Sofia. Had to be
Well,
Varna Sofia.
no, because
And then after that,
Bucharest got vampire matured off right away. So after Constanta and the it so he actually it could be Constanta Bucharest. It is
that doesn't
actually
make sense though, right? Because so if you're maturing a vamp, the three behind it that are in the fourth, fifth, sixth spaces on the trail are all cleared. So Constanta would have had to be in the third position on the trail, right?
yeah. Constanta was the first thing that didn't get wiped. So
Right.
therefore,
So then how? So he would have had to have gone to at least one other space before Constanta, right? Or after Constanta before the trail cleared, correct?
Yeah.
Because that Constanta would be where the misdirect is currently when the board was wiped. So he would have had to have gone to at least one other space after Constanta, which could not have been
what happened
Bucharest,
was
correct?
Athens matured as a vampire. You know that. It he could have done that would have been Valona for him to. In fact, Valona or Bucharest or Varna was the last spot to be wiped. It would have been vampire there. That's good for the hunters.
Helps. Yep.
Helpful.
Yep.
So Athens, Valona, Sofia, Bucharest, Constanta. Athens matures, and then Valona, Sofia, and Bucharest all get wiped. Bucharest / Varna, whichever one it was. So he could have gone back to Bucharest after Constanta. I'm not sure.
You know what? You know what?
Be,
I can literally look at this on my phone since I got it on my phone while we're talking and figure this out and confirm. Because I feel like the math ain't mathin'.
He might have been worried that they were going to jump on Sophia and reveal it. So by removing Sophia as a misdirect and wolf directing from there, it would allow him to go down to Athens and then come back up to Valona and then potentially Salonika.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There's the Rumour Token chat. There's your Rumour Token, Scott Sword and Jordy. He's played it. Okay. Now the danger here is the further into the east all the hunters go, he can just jump ship and away he goes.
Yeah. They have to be careful not to overcommit.
Because he's not taking any damage, obviously, from hunters. The only damage he's taking is self harm because of his wolf form. Yeah, so he can afford to do 2 Cs and then he could land a Cagliari and feed. And as you say, if he's got 2 desecrated soils and they don't get revealed or cancelled with Heavenly Host, he'll be doing your trick where he can just keep healing while he's at sea, and he can get as far away as the South Atlantic without, he's going to be replenishing 6 health while he takes steps, so he'll be breaking even by the end when he lands anyway. So the hunters have to be proactive and make a move today it's been his turn now, but yeah, tomorrow they need to try and do something, or he's just going to go to sea, and it depends what Constanta is.
Yeah, if that's a hoax, well, then.
I mean, to be fair, the best case scenario for the hunters is that Constanta is a vampire. There's no rumour tokens. There's only going to be 4 or 3. It clears the other 2 misdirect. They don't have to worry about. Then all they've got to do is focus on the wolf form, which, if he hasn't left the east, 2 hunters can pretty much check that out pretty quick. He hasn't got any layers for them to worry about.
Yes.
So that'd be the best scenario because they're only in Tuesday of the 3rd week, so there's no pressure of the influence kicking in yet. I would just do that and start to.
We're Thursday of the week of the 2nd week.
Oh, Thursday. Sorry, I'm on the small screen. So yeah, but again, there's still no any threat at the moment that it's gonna kick in for Fury of Dracula with the influence. And I would just recollect, get 2 hunters to clear the east.
Yes.
Seward and Van Helsing sit centrally, and that's it.
Yes, they unlike my desecrated soils in the east with Scott's sword, Sir Backstab does have time.
Yeah. And you would imagine with 4 items only left in the deck, the hunters would have kept the heavenly hosts on them. So
Yeah, at this point they're bound to have at least 2 of them. I mean, strictly speaking, they could have none of them, and there are in those bottom 4. But but by statistics, they will have at least 2 by now.
This is gonna be interesting.
Let's see what happens here. Aristocratic.
Okay.
Okay, so a 4-pointer, but that means that
that's not bad for the hunters.
But it is bad, but it's definitely the best bad thing, so to speak.
Yeah, as hunters, this takes them 5? That takes them up to 9.
Yeah.
It'll clear the trail.
And
They can source the wolf form with the rumor token.
And in truth,
and then
thanks to the vampire lair, it's basically as if they didn't have that, and there were a couple reckless vampire bites along the way.
Yeah.
That's really all that aristocratic got him, and now, as you say, he has more space. Drac has fewer things to keep them busy.
But now at this point, every one of these vamps needs to be dealt with. So they're gonna find Drac real fast.
I mean, if they identify a vampire as a new vampire, they might be able to let that slide by as long as it's not rumored. But
and there's already stakes in the discard pile. This could be.
There's only 2. One was naturally discarding, the other was used for vampire lair. So
50% of the hunters will have one.
Unless they're in the deck, of course.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, unfortunately, the hunters don't seem to have movement set up properly.
Okay,
so.
I hope that Van Helsing does not move. If I were him, or if he does move, it's moving to Munich, so that he can be the rear guard and such.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I would try to get more, try to find a scouts, possibly a newspaper for that matter. There's still 2 newspapers in the event deck, at least I'm assuming, because they had an opportunity to use a newspaper yesterday to uncover what happened after Constanta. So therefore, simply by logic,
I think the issue is this will stem from Seward and Van Helsing not moving quicker to get over there.
I actually suspected that might be the case, waiting to go into the Adriatics and then wolf form immediately out, so that Rufus doesn't matter. Reckless Vampire into the high card.
Still in the trail.
Well, yeah.
This is the area where these ambush reckless bites could be a problem.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. He'll need 4 reckless vampire bites, but so let's see just how well Mina is equipped. Since she has no horse, there's definitely potential, and they've gone through. Let me see. They've discarded a knife. I don't know why Sewer discarded a knife, but there's no crucifixes, but there's still 2 garlics left. Okay, yeah, we know that she has a pistol, and as you said, there's pretty good odds that there's a heavenly host around. Although I'm not sure they'd have her have it.
No.
But then again, it's hard to tell with Backstab being a newer member.
So I have to say, I kind of like the idea of fighting this vamp.
Okay. Apparently he doesn't.
And this is just the hide vamp, so you might have done a double vamp and then Dracula. So all he's going to do is kill Mina.
Well, that's quite possible. Huh. Okay.
Interesting.
That seems to say that that's the fog. He started with a fog to just to be safe, like renewed vigor number 2 and people getting closer. Surprising return. So that'll be Sister Agatha.
Like that.
their sister Agatha to summon him for the fight.
Yeah.
So
Maybe there's another surprising return I like that, but this does seem like the time where Rufus might actually have some impact.
I mean, yes,
Although
it's
Aggie could have some
unfortunate.
impact too.
It.
I mean,
I mean,
I don't know.
I mentioned at the beginning that that I was a bit disappointed that he didn't search with Rufus, even though it was the first day. Especially since Aggie popped up the same on the day one as well. Okay,
Wow.
mesmerize. Oh, daring play.
I like that.
A very daring play, to be sure. Okay.
Going down swinging. I like it.
I mean, that helps, to be sure. However, that does mean that CG is a bit weaker. But what's up next?
Double heavily host.
We had a pistol.
Yeah.
We had a host.
So what's the third thing? Strength
Strength.
and escape.
Okay, well played, Backstab.
Yeah, nice,
very nice.
Nicely done.
Deal your damage and get on out of there. Get out of dodge.
Yep.
Yeah.
It actually worked out quite well because Draco's not going to want to stick around and risk having multiple hunters hop on him, which I'm not sure they actually can. But I feel like there's enough of a risk that Draco would probably want to leave here.
Well, he knows that Gul'daman does not have a horse. Gul'daman has been moving by road, and he would be using the horse if he had it.
It was just a trail with Godalming, though. Maybe could be a sense of emergency.
True.
So yeah, I don't know what that housing trade did, but could be. If I were Drac, I feel like I would be like thinking, okay, they probably can't get on me this turn, but I'd rather just leave now anyway. Just be a little bit safer.
I might consider doing a feed, like now she has one less combat card to play with. Try to deal some damage, possibly heal off some Fang hits. You know that the one thing you know of does not block Fangs. For all we know, it's
yeah. I was thinking that. Yeah, that if they can't get to him.
And what's more, keep in mind that Valona still has an encounter on it, and
exactly.
And since Mia has been showing a fog, a forewarned, if that's a fog, that's why he doesn't ambush. He waits for someone else to come. So if that's a fog, yes, feed it and stay for the time being.
And I like the Reckless on Hide is good because she won't waste a stake to kill the hide card, and she can't search in case that's a fog because it'll kick in. So there is the option, yeah, I guess, that he feeds, kills Mina, gets 3 points for that, makes his life a lot easier.
Well, it'll be hard for him to kill Mina in a day fight. It would take him Fang a second penalty host, but but Fangs would at least potentially give him some healing.
Yeah. No, I think on that, yeah, you're right, because Mina didn't take any damage in that fight, so yeah, I think with Snuff would be the same as, although he hasn't got his wolf form, so the problem is going to the Adriatic could be problematic if they have got his CG.
Yes, which is
go to Athens this round just for one more move.
Athens, I think, is what that wolf form is.
You think?
Yeah. The spot before the wolf form was, wait.
Misdirect.
But also the spot before the wolf form was in Austro-Hungary, right? He wolf formed as soon as that happened, and then. So that seems to say it was Sarajevo, and he wolf formed down.
He could have gone, yeah. He could have wolf formed to Salonika, then Valona.
Yes, but he also could have wolf formed down to Athens.
Yeah, either or. So we'll just have to see what he does.
Yeah.
Either way,
I would.
If he moves now, he's still got the option of the Ionia, which is open to him. If he has got Athens free, I would move there now for one more move, lay another trail, then go to sea.
I mean.
Especially if you put a bats in Athens or wherever you're going.
He is staking it. Okay. Well,
Gonna find out what Valona is now. Is it a fog?
if the
You
fog,
can't forewarn something that you triggered, so
yeah, if
that could change the game.
if it's a fog
Yeah.
and it go, if it's a fog, then definitely feed while it's up, and you're under its protection. That's
Trouble is, if she's got one stake, if this is a double vamp, I'm a bit behind you guys, but if she
Uh-oh.
does that on
well, she does. She gets to see what it is before.
It is
She,
fog.
she gets to see.
Wow.
She gets to see what it is before, and therefore
Oh,
choose
that's
the
good. She
order.
can actually,
So she gets to choose which one to stake. So that's really not a problem.
Okay, so now you definitely feed.
Yeah.
You might even go to Athens first, then feed?
I
Or
mean,
feed,
Yeah.
I guess there's no reason
if
to...
if you haven't been to Athens yet, yes.
Correct, yep. If not, you feed first, then either leave to Adriatic, or if you're feeling lucky, go to Salonika.
Randiv agrees.
But yeah, Athens is quite safe if that's the open space.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, actually, I would do feed before going to Athens for reasons of when this presumably a vampire goes off. Admittedly that's game. Admittedly that would be game, but for building good habits, play the feed where it will get wiped, so you get it back.
Misclick. Random saying he misclicked, and I'm not sure what that would be.
Huh. It's quite possible that he intended to.
Did he mean to dawn combat?
Possibly.
Maybe he meant to let the dawn combat through.
Okay. Possibly.
Although if that were the misclick, I probably wouldn't say it, because that's something that's like a strategic thing.
Oh yeah, you mean he's clicked the avoid combat? Yeah, yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of him
Yeah.
that he might be
Well,
referring to
yeah,
when he says misclick.
Yeah, because feeds on a completely different UI, so you have to be blind and misclick one to something move. I think you're right. Yeah, I think you wanted to feed and then fight Mina, because you would get a fight today and tonight and kill her. So yeah, that could well be it.
Yeah, he can still choose to accept the night fight.
Yeah.
Mina, if Van Helsing's got any combat events like Heroic Leap, for example, or just escape route, planned ambush, etc., then she needs to trade him down to her, and Mina should supply to try to find such an event.
It needs to be quick because in a couple of days, the influence, if Mina's got her own lead, well, he'll be away by then. But if she had it, she would then self-sacrifice if she's below 5 and kill herself, he'd win with the 4 points. But by then, he'll either be at C or we'll see which he'll either be at one of the locations that we've identified.
So yeah, Mina only has a pistol. That is not what you want to do.
Well,
That's not what you want to be armed with when you're fighting drag.
well, she has one. Oh, what? Oh, her other thing was a stake, right? Oh, Parker.
Yep, she had a host,
Well,
a stake, and a pistol, and
I-
the host and stake are gone.
I mean, that's not the worst thing to draw. I mean, you can see whether or not that's Athens that he wolf formed to. Solana. It was. Well, it wasn't Salonika.
Nice. Okay, so we went to Athens first. Salonika is.
It could have been a fake wolf form to Sophia, but I seriously doubt that.
I'd have been, yeah, I mean, to be
Man,
fair,
these horses are rough.
using the stake on a hide vampire when the fog was there, she could have just left it and moved away and the fog wouldn't have been triggered. So, I think that was a bit of a waste.
Yeah.
That.
Yes.
So, as a newer player, I'm thinking. I also thought it was possible that it could have been a double vamp, in which case I think she just wanted to deal with it and then leave later. So I can understand what Backstab might have been thinking there. Like, Mina's got the stake. I don't want to have to land in this space again, especially when, you know, day fangs are quite a problem. I bet Backstab was worried about the double vamp and wanted to just get it done with quickly, which makes sense to me.
So that will.
I think the other hunters would want to identify what the wolf rumor is. You're assuming that's going to be a vampire, so they probably think then if that's the rumor vampire, typically you won't follow it with another vampire unless you think it's going to get caught and cancelled. So ideally, if they can find out what's under the rumour, that would then, to me, would kind of give you an idea as to what he's laid down. You know, usually
okay, it's Athens.
Down with a rumour token.
It's Athens.
It's definitely Athens. Yep.
Yep.
Which is tough because that is going to be exceedingly hard to get to.
Well, Seward did go to Venice earlier, and we mused that that possibly was an excellent weather play. What if he still has that? He can horse down to Salonika and then excellent weather around to get to Athens.
Yeah, we're going to need some events.
Yeah.
Or Mina can survive 2 turns and then walk there and then do something. Hope it's an aristocratic. We've already seen 1 or 2 of those, I think.
So just to answer your question, the patented strats, yes. Double vamps in Barcelona Hyde. The cancel the card before a Hyde, rumour token the Hyde, that stays unrevealed. And I can't remember my third one, but you can have those 2 for now. For
now, so now as Drac, you after for your move you go to C, unless you want to Dark Call to just continue pestering Mina. Just because at this stage, killing the Mina is 1 point shy of winning the game.
So Dracula here, I think, is going to want to try to kill her with a bite because she doesn't have any anti-fang stuff.
Yeah, she has nothing but a pistol.
And for a newer player, it's easier to forget that Mina can die to a bite at night than it is to forget that Mina can die by damage.
Yes, which is right. And
I don't know that Backstab will forget. I don't mean to assume that, but for me myself as a new player, it's an easier thing for me to forget that than to forget that 0 health goes to. So
yeah, the ideal.
I bet Drac mesmerizes.
The ideal
I bet Drac
hand
mesmerizes, and if he gets punched, mesmerize again.
Yeah, the ideal hand for Drac is double mesmerize and double fang, because then Mina is dead. He just mesmerize, fang, and one of each is guaranteed to hit. Claws. Okay. Well,
that's honestly a pretty good outcome for her.
Yeah, I'm guessing that was not the best of combat hands for him to do that.
Nope. I have to imagine Randiv didn't have a good combat hand.
Yeah.
So
it's possible he had. It is possible that he had only that, he simply didn't have a mesmerize, and with Aggie up, claws is better than fangs.
Also true. You're right. No mesmerize means that's probably the better play.
Yeah, with no mesmerize, then claws is just the best thing to do. So,
Right, is the game? Have they not moved yet at your side?
No, they haven't.
Stuck on Godalming's night phase.
Yeah.
Seward
definitely took his time. Does he have the CG in choosing to pass? Does he have the CG and possibly wants to force him out of there so he can't bother Mina anymore? Do you?
That would be an interesting dilemma. Because you'd probably rather use it when Dracula goes to Adriatic.
As Dracula, do you Dark Call to try to kill Mina? Because now that she's taken 4 damage, I mean, she can heal 1, but that doesn't make any difference in the break 8 points in damage from Drac. She has nothing but a pistol. Come to think of it, I'm not sure if they've used any of their night supplies. I wonder if Backstab has simply forgotten about that. Mina actually could, I think, in theory, just do a night supply and pull an event. Try to find an escape route. Now that I think of it.
Good point. I haven't been keeping tabs on that. If you got them, you gotta use them. But you rest, okay?
I might have done a night supply there because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I, especially if the Mystic Research situation is that. Yeah. So in order for them to be able to successfully clear this, in order to successfully clear the vampire, Seward will need to roll 2 on his horse to get down to Salonica, and then he'll need an excellent weather. Or no, the fog will wear off. On the day that it moves into the last spot on the trail, so Seward will have 1 day to get there. So,
Seward's gotta move.
yeah.
And hope for better horse draws. Now, what does Dracula do?
Yeah, does he try to kill Mina? Does he try to... Because he's still safe there until tomorrow. He could Dark Call and try to kill Mina again. And simply do it by damage. There's of course always possibility of a great strength being about, but...
I'd rather move and lay another trail down than try and kill it, because if you don't, and she gets away for whatever reason, I mean, Van Helsing could transfer an escape route to her or something. Another trail down, because the rheumatologist we found...
Randiv is going for it. But I'm not sure I completely agree with that, Roscoe, considering that would mean moving to Salonica, where Goldaming if there's a charred carriage, Goldaming could get there. Renewed Vigor and charred carriage on Van Helsing would mean Van Helsing could get there. Since of emergency, there's far too many ways you could get like a 2 or 3 on 1 on you.
No, I thought, right, unless the stream's lagged, I thought Dracula could move to Athens, or has Athens been revealed? Because it's not shown on the stream game.
There were scouting effects on Salonica, Sarajevo, and Sofia. So
the only place left is Athens.
Right.
Cost of elimination.
Right. I thought because you were ahead, I thought he'd been found in Athens, so he was going to move to Athens. Right. Okay. Yeah.
That rumor is in Athens.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
So he can't go to Athens. In order to lay down more trail, he has to come out into the open where people can jump onto him.
The thing is, there's a lot of event cards that haven't been. I mean, the chances are them having dangerous events. I mean, the odds are obviously going to be a bit less because there's still 40 they haven't checked. So.
Yes.
So what I would like to see here.
At the same time, when you're in a good position like this, why risk that? I would say that if you don't Dark Call, you go to C. Fangs, okay.
Escape, okay.
Well, that's more damage on Mina, but it doesn't give Drac any health thanks to Aggie.
Yep. So Mina can heal during the day if she wants to.
Yeah, and that will
or one more.
Yeah, make it that he can't get her out of Claw means death range.
I think that's probably better under the circumstances than searching.
Well, the only other thing you could do is a supply.
I'm sorry, I meant supply, not search. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, misspoke. Searching.
Search, supply, snuffleupagus, all those S words.
Yep. All right, Ganalme, what are you gonna do? Where are you going?
Well, you've got to find this wolf form token because it's going to be game over regardless. So if he goes to C now, I mean, he's not got anything back.
Well,
they've got to just.
The thing is that the hunters already know where that token is.
Yeah, they just can't get. Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
What a surprise. Right, so Stuart basically has to go to Salonika or Sofia, but preferably Salonika.
Salonika, in the event there's an excellent weather, because the way he went to Venice earlier instead of going to Munich, it implies that there was an excellent weather around. So
Okay, that's good. Good horse draw.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that Salonika is just better under
Yeah.
the circumstances than Sofia. But yeah, he's been having some rough horse draws, so
Yeah,
Sofia would still preserve the possibility of getting there if you couldn't get to Salonika.
Yeah, and the thing is, even Mina can go check out the Athens. I'm assuming, of course, that she survives the night.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Good job, Backstab. Okay, now what are we gonna do here? Supply, trade something to Mina.
Yeah. So, as Drac, now you go to Adriatic, and then assuming they don't CG all the ports, then we'll form oh, so Van Helsing has
Okay,
found
go to
the
Munich.
last horse.
No, go to Munich there.
Yep.
You can't help. I would've gone to Munich.
Well, there is a sense of emergency possibilities, and keep in mind that the fog will fade now, as a matter of fact. So they will be able to move through Valona, horsing, if necessary.
Yay.
Alright.
The other strategy could be that Athens is just a fake bait for the rumour. So that it jumps on it and it's like a rat snort on the fog and it'll delay Seward again.
Yeah, or soil. Yeah.
That would, if it was a fake, that would explain the decision to fight Mina more.
Yeah.
Like if I thought there was a good chance of winning with the vampire, I'd be more inclined to leave her.
Okay,
And
mesmerize.
the fog delay is
Good.
finding that rumour token early. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
well played, Drac.
Next thing to do is plotting. If you have it.
Or
Because
double fang. If you have double fang,
yes, if you have double fang, then just do that. Yep,
and win.
true. Yes, assuming there's no great strength, as being able to prevent the bite prevents the death. He'll still get a point, but it's
I think you do it anyway.
yeah. I'm not disagreeing.
It's a safer win, right? Because the one thing Mina does have is that pistol.
Yeah.
You could guarantee if you got off 2 claws against Mina, you could guarantee that great strength wouldn't save her. But under circumstances, if she only has a pistol, I think you'd probably take the bite, even if it gets great strength away. What do we got? Strength. Okay.
That
Maybe
seems
he only
to
has
say-
one. Maybe he only has one fang.
Yeah, and doesn't have plotting. Getting strength out of hand while he
I think
doesn't
strength
have
is better than
escape.
plotting here because strength is good even against a punch.
Yeah, or pistol, since pistol
Or
also
pistol.
blocks. Oh, there's the fangs, and he can't. Yeah, so that unless he has great strength, that is game, and that is the case. So that is going to be a 10 health
Alright,
victory
GG.
for Dracula. GG.
All right.
You well played.
Exciting ending there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll both of them to join us here as you know, I do the post game chats with the players.
Right, well, I'll leave you two to chat with there. That's fine. I'm going to jump off. So,
All right. Well,
Um,
thank you for joining me, Roscoe.
no, it's fine. Hope I can help. Good to have you chat stuff. So we'll catch up before our games next week.
Sounds good. Catch you later.
Cheers, guys.
Yep, bye.
Yeah, Randiv has already said that he would come before the game, since he and I chatted a bit before the game, but alright. Okay, I semi-missed them. They left before I told them. Okay, come to... Okay, this may take a little bit, folks.
Hello.
Hello, Randiv. Good work.
Hi.
Randiv, congrats.
Hi. Thanks.
Hello.
That was an unusual one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in some ways it was traditional. The
the Valona start, which I personally didn't like to see, but then again, everyone has different things.
I don't it. So it goes to show that being discovered on the first turn isn't gonna necessarily ruin things, especially when especially when he loses his horse on his very first movement.
Yeah, I suffered in that same way versus Wakajic. When I was hunting Wakajic, the tickets were just mean to me. So I know at least part of what he must be feeling.
I was trying to mature two vampires in Athens in the same game, but I was close. But
Yeah, well, but Mina was a convenient way
That's
to
nice.
to mature a new vampire, in a different way, by turning her into one.
That works.
yeah,
So,
go ahead.
sorry, Roscoe was on the chat or the stream earlier, and he was saying, we were thinking, is Randiv going to go in Munich? Is he going to stay in the East? And I think the story was, if you're not feeling pressure in the East, stay in the East.
Yeah.
You may as well. Just keep
Yeah,
on laying stuff down, and you don't need to leave until the hunters make you leave. And if the hunters never make their way far enough over, you could just hang out there and keep on laying trail and live your best Dracula life, and that works.
Yeah.
okay.
So
It's kind of
if I
story.
didn't kill Nina, I go to sea there, and then somebody has to kill the reckless vampire without getting bitten twice.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I was only at 10 health when it was over. My I missed one combat versus Mina because I clicked the wrong thing. It was like
That was
do
what
I
you were
want
referring
combat? Yes, I want combat. Wait, the question is, do I want to avoid combat? Oops.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, Snuff actually guessed that was what you were referring to when you
And
said
then
that.
my first two combat hands were like
Without mesmerized fang
crazy
material.
bad.
Well,
Like
a clause when she was at full health, that's not bad.
yeah, the only weapon she had was a pistol though, and
Yeah, but you think
Yeah.
you think she's gonna stick around when she's trapped in fog for the next 2 days?
But I had that was the second one, I don't know which one of the two anyway. I had a
No
clause,
mesmerize.
2 escapes, and 2 plotting in my
Yeah.
opening hand. And I knew she only had one weapon. And
Yeah.
and that would
the
block
other
the
one
ability to
was
switch play. Yeah.
equally weird. Like I can't find it exactly. The third one was fine. The second time I had no mesmerize at all. And I'll give credit for the one time they got me with the
The Heavenly Host, yeah.
Heavenly Host. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I was like, okay, I can kill her with the mesmerize and then fangs, even though Aggies in play, it's gonna
Yeah.
end the game.
Let's. I'm not getting any reply from Sir Backstab.
Yeah, he might not want to talk about it,
Yeah,
but
that just went very poorly for him.
he's learning. He's learning. I think course
Yeah,
economy
I
is going
think.
to have to work on.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah. I mean, to be fair to him, he I think is the newest person of the community that's in the tournament. Uh, Hence his team name High Lords Wakajic versus of Low Waters. uh,
Yeah.
yeah. It. So I mean, so
It's not much to it. It's a pretty straightforward game.
Yeah. Uh, if that's everything, then
I know the one thing that cramped my style was he started uh, wax cylinders very early and frequently. So good for him for that. So
yeah,
there was like I could have, yeah, there were other ways I could have used hide,
that would have been nice. Yeah.
and including like on Athens, but I didn't want to give Athens away. And then when I moved up for the Verona the second time, I went with Feed and Dark Call just because I needed to delay playing Hyde because I knew he would find that as soon as I did, and luckily, well, because only Mina was in range, she had forewarned. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And I had fog, but I just, I couldn't ambush her with the fog. So I thought I'd wait, and if for a second hunter to come in is what I thought would happen, and then I would have two stuck.
Two stuck.
But
yeah.
It didn't actually work out. It was fine. Since she searched to stake the vampire, then the fog went off, and because it wasn't an ambush, it was a reaction to a search.
Hey Snuff. Hey.
Fog forewarned doesn't work in that situation, which is
Hey,
like
Snuff.
a good.
Sir Backstab has asked you a question in eighth.
I've noticed.
Yeah, would you mind asking him if he wants to come here? Tell him his choice, but if he wants to talk, then
Give me.
Chat about it, then.
Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to checking my calendar. I want to answer his question. And the annoying thing is that not all of my different work counters and non-work counters sync up, which is annoying. But I will ping him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. Yeah. So, overall, a nice solid win. 10 IDS. Nice and strong.
Yeah. Yeah. So
obviously, as your teammate, I was hoping that you get a clean 15-point under like what Kajic did to me.
I was kind of scratching my head thinking of how I could get anything more, but I really couldn't.
Yeah.
I could avoid a combat and go to speed, but that wasn't.
Were the two desecrated soils that we saw from behind the veil wiped?
No, they both. Well, they were wiped by the maturing vampires, both of them.
That's why I just asked. Were they? That's
yes.
what I was asking.
Yes.
Okay, because we were commenting on like how, like if you were to go to sea, how those might basically let you imitate me doing stuff to Scott Sword, if you recall that one.
Yeah, it would have been nice, but they were both on my on their way to. In fact,
In between Athens and Constanta.
early in the game um, when Galdaming first moved, if his fast horse had been a 2 instead of a white 1, I think he would have landed on the first desecrated soil and would have gotten me some cards because aside from the I had like 3 aristocratic vampires, and then I drew into 1 reckless vamp. Well, no, and 1 new vampire, but I had no other not any good ambush encounters. Just like a saboteur showed up at some point, but there was no bats, and the fog came late, that kind of thing. But it worked out okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was going to tell him, I mean, I think he needs to understand the horse economy a bit better and do more ticket swapping until he's got not just no white 1s, but also, more 2s, less 1s. And that's kind of a pain to do, but it pays off later.
Well.
Yep. Yeah, I will say earlier on in the 5-6 months I've been doing this, I would stop trading tickets whenever I had yellow ones, and Fangs had advised me against that, and I've eventually been persuaded, okay, yes, you have to keep throwing those away until you get all the white ones. It's sometimes you need to there are different things about this game that you kind of have to experience the reasoning behind it before you truly learn.
Yeah.
Like on that particular thing, I had a lot of good experiences where I was able to get the white ones relatively easily and not be desperate to get one. So I was like, why would I throw away a yellow one, right? But then the first time you have one where you can't find that last white one, you're like, oh shit, I need to do this. This is an absolute imperative.
Yeah.
And it will always bite you. It's like 12. It's like 1 in 12, but
yeah,
they'll always bite you at the worst possible moment. I've lost horses at least twice in tournament games.
Yeah.
Where it's the worst was one game in this tournament that basically in the long run I lost because I decided to move Van Helsing by chartered carriage. So I just did chartered carriage, and then after I'd already clicked that, I realized he was only holding 1 train ticket and it was a white 1.
Whoops.
And
the
game does not allow you to undo. It does not allow you to back up. So I had no choice but to discard the white 1. And then something came up where someone had to really get there. And the first draw of my next horse movement was that white 1.
Well.
So, it's like.
I think at this point,
so I learned a lesson about chartered carriage, and I wish that if they ever did more fixes, that's when I'd like them to.
I think this summarizes things well enough for the live stream. So I think I'm going to say that will be all. So thanks for watching, everyone, and there shall likely soon be more on the last week of this tournament. So before too long. So
before you cut out, I'm in charge of doing the results this week. So now that the last game of the week is over, I can do that. So if you're watching, get excited. Get excited. Results coming soon.
Take care.
Take
Later,
care,
all.
everyone, and bye.